Hey, it's Mr. Lawrence. Stick with me, I'm going to have you drawing a V8 Supercar with nothing more than a pen and a bottle cap, and maybe a ruler if you're a beginner. Line up the edge of your cap right with the edge of your paper and measure across one cap. Trace around, and that's going to be your front wheel all the way around. Try and guess the middle and then enlarge it to a big wheel nut. Once, twice, 3 times, and then draw your wheel. So from the center, guess halfway between here and here, put a mark for me. Now guess halfway again, put another mark. Okay, that's the thickness of the rubber on the rim. So I'm going to lightly try and sketch a circle in, roughly that big, and then darken it a little. Next, draw a hub, like this. So I'm going to lightly mark where the spoke will be, this one. I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to draw kind of a Y shape, like that. That's these two. These ones are not quite flat, they're kind of up just a little bit. And then halfway between here and here, put another one like that. And lean in there. Next comes the disc. This rotating lump of metal inside the wheel is what stops the car. These bad boys go from 300 kilometers an hour to nothing in no time at all. And all of that energy in the car is lost as heat into the air. So amazing materials involved in manufacturing these brakes. Okay, so the rotor, draw a circle just inside the rim. And this is the caliper. I've coloured in red for you. That grabs the rotor and it sits at the back here. I'm darkening the outside of the rotor. So where do we draw this line at the front of the car? Well, if this is the gap between the wheel and the edge of your paper, then cut it in half, half again, roughly out here, and draw a line that's leaning forwards. Okay, so that's the front of the car. The back of the car is represented with a line sloping in the same direction. That is exactly one wheel away. So pop your cap there, put a mark, and draw a slopey line like that. So that's the front and back of the car. How about the top of the car? All right, I'm looking at this point here. If this is the thickness of the rubber, I'm going to come up one rubber thickness. At the back, I'm going to come up. From this point here, I'm going to come up 1 tyre thickness, 2 tyre thickness. I'm going to draw that, connect that with a line. So that's the line that the windows are going to sit on, there, that we've just drawn in. How about the bottom of the car? Well, that's easy to find. If you line your ruler up from here at the bottom of the rims, like that, and draw a line, that's the bottom of the car. We mark it with a B. And this line is your, let's call it the window line. Next we're going to draw the ground line. You can see the ground line is here, under the tyres. So let's line a ruler up there and there. We can do this one in quite dark. The next thing we draw is the wheel arches. That's where the metal opens up for the wheel. It actually covers part of the tyre here at the top. So halfway between here and here, place a mark. Place a mark left of the tyre and right, And we're going to join this one to these marks with a nice curve like that. Same thing to the back. Cool. We're going to go straight down. This one doesn't quite come straight down, it comes out a little bit like that. A little bit more clearance. Good. Let's do the same thing at the back. Back of the car is actually higher. Come up about here somewhere, and on this angle, just draw a little curve. That's the back of the car. Now we're going to find the roof line. Grab your cap, put it on the ground line and mark 1 cap, 2 caps high. So on that line, let's draw a light line, front and back. Now, where's the highest point on the car? Just here, and you'll find that on this mark here. Remember we had 1, 2, 3 caps. On this line, sketch or draw with a ruler a line straight up. This is the top of the car, right here. So we're going to draw a little curve, like this. So we've drawn the top of the car. We need to find this point here where the windscreen starts to slope down. So if you came from the number 1 here up and come back a bit, or in other words, about, if that's 1 cap, about 3/4 of a cap, that's the mark. It lines up with that. Now, what slope is the windscreen at? Well, from that point there, if you make a line that touches the top of the wheels, like that, that's the right slope for the windscreen. This line here is the bonnet line, or the hood. It starts above the window line. That's the window line. Starts above the window line and finishes below the window line. So let's pick that one up. If we come from around about here and we come up, that's where the bonnet starts. It's that point there. And to find where it ends, come about the same distance below the window line to about there. You're going to draw a nice curve in, like that, and continue it along past the window line, bring it up, tuck it back in, and that is the windscreen. Windscreen actually has a slight curve on it too. It's time to blend that into the roof. Find the centre of the wheel and imagine a line that comes straight out this way. The front of the car will drop down to there, like that. Then it'll come in a little bit and then down. But at the bottom, we've got to draw the air dam. So bring that one around to the front, little half circle, bring it all the way back to there. Now drop the car down to there. There's our air dam. Awesome. We're going to come this way, like this, in a little bit, and then round to meet this point down here. To draw the headlight, this point here, imagine a line that comes backwards. So from here, a line that comes backwards, maybe slopes up a little bit. On that line, we're going to draw down. We're going to come back to here. It's going to come forwards, and it's going to tuck up a little bit. So that, in behind here, you don't see daylight, it's all dark. So I'm going to draw a line up this way, and shade that in. Now to draw in this rear window, we're going to find a point here where it slopes down. Now that point is exactly 1 cap backwards from this line. Actually, I've got the line right there. Okay, so find that point there on that curvy line and draw a line that heads towards just misses that corner by a little bit. So you could use a ruler if you like, or you can just sketch it in. Now I'm going to blend those lines with a little curve. Actually, this whole line should be a slight curve, maybe. So the back of the car actually comes along here and around, unless you're a supercar and you've got one of these big wings to create downforce. So from this point here, I'm going to draw a line that comes up this angle, roughly, and then kind of level with the roof or down a bit. I'm going to draw a line like this. Let's come back here. Now the back of the car continues down until it's level with the top of the wheel. So imagine a line that comes out here. When you reach that, come in a little V, and then round off a back bumper like that. Has a little detail that comes out here and down. For the rear tail light, I'm going to stay on this line. I'm going to start from the back, sketch myself a line there. I'm going to come up and back here. I'm going to go downwards in this direction, heading towards the... Now we need to draw the top of the windows. Start off with a close line at the top like that, and it gets a little wider as it comes down, like that, and it gets much wider as it comes down at the back. I'll just darken that in a little so you can see what I'm talking about. So a slight curve. Then we'll bring that one up and around. So it'll start here and it'll slope up towards here, and then it curves. And it just misses that. So let's draw that one in first. Curves there and misses there and heads up towards the back here, like this. Where it hits the bottom of the window line, it's going to curve, not vertical, just a little bit sloping forwards like that. So this is all black, except for the back bit's chopped off. Can you see just there? So we've got a front door and a back door. We need a join in the middle. On this line here, we're going to draw a slight curvy line, and then it's going to come up. It's going to slope backwards just a little bit, like that. So each side of that line, draw one that gets thicker towards the bottom and thicker there. This is coloured black. You can see a kind of line there. So on that line is where you have a little window divider there. Nearly there. Let's draw a revision mirror. From here we come along, up that way and along. Behind it is another blackened section. We've got a little detail here. There, there. Rear window. On this line here, come in a little, up here, follow that one down like that, darken it in. Okay, door handles. To draw those is easy. Find a spot, starts just here, and draw a little curve like that, one like that, line across the middle, a little bit of dark underneath. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of colour in that, and when I do, it should tie it up a little bit.